Welcome to your daily dose of hope. I'm Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about apologizing and forgiveness. Not something I've talked about very much on here, but it's connected, I think, to overall feelings of happiness and hopefulness. We rarely talk about what forgiveness is or what it requires from us. If we're the person who's messed up, understanding how to apologize isn't just about smoothing things over. It's about honoring the person that you hurt and creating conditions that make forgiveness possible. None of us are perfect, and even unintentionally, there are times when maybe we upset or disappoint or hurt somebody else. And it doesn't mean we're a bad person, but there are steps that we can take to try and make it right. When we're the one who's messed up, just understanding how to apologize can be so helpful, both to us and to the person that we're talking to. A lot of apologies fall short, right? We've all heard these from others when somebody says, "Oh, I'm sorry if you were offended." Or if it starts with, "I'm sorry, but," we know that that's not going to be a real apology. They're kind of defensiveness, right? And it's dressed up maybe like an apology, but it doesn't feel very sincere. Real apologies are a little uncomfortable because they require us to sit in the full weight of what we did without deflecting or minimizing or rushing in to declare that everything's good now. If you need to apologize, I think it's best to just be honest and not hide behind vague language. "I'm sorry for hurting you." That's a good place to start. But even more specific could be better. Like, "I'm sorry I broke your confidence by sharing what you told me in private." Being really clear about acknowledging what you did wrong is helpful. And remember, "I was wrong" is a complete sentence. The hardest part is after we've apologized, we have to let go of the outcome. We don't get to demand forgiveness, and we don't get to set the timeline for when somebody else should just be over it. We don't get to be hurt ourselves if they decide they're not ready to just trust us again, or they're not ready to just say everything's fine. Forgiveness is a gift, and they get to choose when to give it. And it's not a debt that they owe us for stepping up and saying we're sorry. Apologies should come with no strings attached, not even that string or expectation of saying everything's okay. A real apology isn't a moment, it's the beginning of change, right? It's proving to somebody through your actions that you really meant what you said. Words matter, sure, and they are important, but behavior is what rebuilds trust. If you find yourself needing to apologize, don't wait for the perfect words. They don't really exist. But your willingness to be honest and humble and accountable is what's going to matter most. Now, I know this is a little different from my usual message, but I hope if the day comes that you want to apologize, that you'll find this helpful. And you can also feel better in knowing that when we're willing to be honest and accountable, we give permission to other people to be the same. This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.